Riots and demonstrations continue across the country, calling for police departments to be disbanded, defunded, or overhauled. But many are sounding the alarm over these proposals. And our next guest says it's gone too far and is releasing a brand new documentary supporting police. Kevin Jackson is a three-time Amazon best-selling author, an award-winning filmmaker, and executive director of Seeking Educational Excellence. He's also the producer of Bleeding Blue, and we'll talk about the new film. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So first, I have to ask, what prompted you to make Bleeding Blue?
Well, we made it back during the time of the Michael Brown thing, when, of course, everything was blowing up. People were lying, obviously, about what Darren Wilson, the officer, did. And the fallout of that was good people got fired, Chief Tom Jackson, many others. And then, of course, this racist terrorist movement known as Black Lives Matter was engendered over this. And so we just decided we need to tell the truth. If people think of this as a pro-cop film, I think of it as a pro-truth film. So we just decided to do something different. And the impetus was, let's save lives, police lives, and let's save lives in the Black community. So we made what I will tell you is an absolutely spectacular film, and it was done out of an education with the idea that we would be educating America on what's really happening and hopefully presenting what's happening today. And here we are a year later after the film was finalized, and it's about to be re-released on video, on digital. And we're in a worse situation, if you ask me, than we were when we made it.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions, and how does the media play a role in this?
The biggest misconceptions are that blacks are being targeted by police and that there's some disproportionate number of blacks that are killed by police as opposed to any other group. The fact is, American Indians, believe it or not, are disproportionately killed per capita than any other group. And whites would be next, and then it goes down the line. Blacks are not being targeted by police. So that's the biggest misconception. The other is the number of police that are killed by blacks, perps that are killed police. So just to put it in perspective, it's probably something like 14 or 15 unarmed blacks that are killed by police each year. And police, maybe there'd be 40 to 50 police who are killed each year. So there are lots of, and I'm not going to get into the statistics because it depends on the year and things like that, but a disproportionate number of police are killed doing their jobs, chasing bad guys, than any number of any ethnic group. So that's a big misconception. And the other misconception is just not misconception necessarily, but what do police do every day? The number of interactions that police have with people. Black folks call the police 7 times more than whites. And why would they be calling the police if they're being targeted? So the movie just sort of points out there's not only these misconceptions, but what do police really do? What do they face every day? White cops are going into black neighborhoods and helping save lives. You probably see many of the videos these days where police officers are helping babies stay alive and getting things out of their lungs, and parents are distraught and things like this. Why don't we tell those stories? So there's an agenda against police that needs to stop, and I'm glad that my team was on the forefront. The second part of that agenda has to deal with pushing back against Black Lives Matter. It's built on a lie. It's a cancer to America. And I'm glad that, again, our team, the Blacks Here team and Seeking Educational Excellence, are doing things to educate people about these types of organizations and hopefully pushing back on them for good.
And you mentioned that the film is going to be re-released. Where can our viewers go to learn more about the film and watch it? BleedingBlueMovie.com. There's a trailer that we, what they call four-walled it late 2018, put it in theaters to test it out, and they'll see some audience reaction. But I'll tell you this, we had police officers and their families crying on our shoulders after the release of this film. I'm proud to say that. They were just so thankful that somebody told the truth. So BleedingBlueMovie.com is where you can see it. I find that interesting, and that you'd say it's about a pro-truth movie. Kevin Jackson, thank you so much again for your time. And for our viewers, again, it's BleedingBlueMovie.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.